Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to this week where we're going to focus on tourism, the largest industry in the world, and we'll talk a little bit about the World Tourism Organization, as well as what its role is in development of sustainable tourism, continuing economic development, and really being able to drive the industry. And the 5 ages of tourism really are featured or gathered around modes of transportation, really. You have the pre-industrial age, which was prior to 1840, the railway age, the automobile age, the jet aircraft age, and then the cruise ship age. And so, as you can see, as technological advances helped people to be able to travel from one space to another more efficiently, it has really paved the path for tourism. Speaking of the cruise ship age, I do have the U.S. News report on the best cruises, and so I wanted to put this out here as well so that you can see some of the places that you could be able to search for information on cruise lines. Now, cruises have taken a little bit of a hit in the media with COVID and some of those things, but I think it's really making a comeback, specifically in the luxury cruise line space as well. And you can see the full rankings list on any of these types of cruises, as well as all-inclusive cruises, adult-only cruises, and then shorter ones that are on rivers and places like that. And shifting gears, I did mention it just a few moments ago in the PowerPoint, but UNESCO is an important term, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, which is an agency of the United Nations promoting world peace and security through cooperation in education, arts, science, and culture. And so they play a role in hospitality and travel and tourism. And interestingly enough, and we'll talk about this a little bit more next week when we talk about heritage tourism, but there is the World Heritage List, and we'll dive into that a little bit more next week. A little bit closer to home, when we think about some of the things that impact tourism, you think about convention and visitors bureaus and their role and responsibility in making sure that they promote tourism and travel to their area. And I did want to share the website for SF Travel, or Advancing SF. It All Starts Here, which has been the most recent publicity campaign to try to get promote tourism in San Francisco. And so here is It All Starts Here.
There's a certain inexplicable magic that happens way out here in this cauldron by the bay, along these cliffs at the edge of the continent. An alchemy unlike any other anywhere else on Earth. A perfect collision of conditions, raw habitat and rare humanity.
You build a new San Francisco!
Where grit and guts meet brain power, optimism, and openness. A confluence that agitates into action a restless itch to create things that are brilliantly new and different. That launched railroads, electric streetcars, and television. That pointed prospectors to gold
In them die hills.
and put their denims on the map. A spark that lit the torches of great warriors, giants, and miners. That sent bicycles and skateboards careening down mountains. A Mustang GT flying down Filbert Street. A toy named Buzz soaring above suburbia. And the Millennium Falcon streaking through hyperspace. It birthed the Beatniks and the Summer of Love. It built a modern-day pyramid and its neighboring tower. It compelled a few crazies to forge an Uber, an Apple, a Google, and countless other never-been-done-befores. Here is home to Nobel laureates, top neuroscientists, and the newest whiz kid on the block, artificial intelligence. Here in this cauldron by the bay is the very motherland of innovation. If it's uncharted and unheard of, if it provokes and upends, if it dances to the beat of a different bongo, if it knows where the future is headed and gets there first in ludicrous mode, if it's a force that can be felt in all 4 corners of the earth, if it changes everything in an instant, well then the chances are it was dreamt up and built up here in San Francisco. It all starts here. And the best is yet to come.
Just speaking a little bit more about tourism and why it's so important, I have here on the screen the multiplier effect, which is when a tourist spends money to travel, stay in a hotel, eat in a restaurant, that money is then recycled by those businesses to purchase more goods, thereby generating further use of the money. And also employees of the businesses who serve tourists spend a higher proportion of their money locally. And so what that looks like is new dollars injected into the economy and multiplying across the different industries. As I said, there's a lot of promoters of tourism, the National Tourism Organization, as well as the Convention and Visitors Bureaus, both statewide and locally. And it's important to note that there is not a Ministry of Tourism that governs anything in the United States. This is mostly done by the individual Convention and Visitors Bureaus, I should say. And so we really rely, and we've seen this especially after the impact of COVID-19, that business travel is really based on the general economic climate. AI, which has been an up-and-coming industry, is one that we hope will be anchored in San Francisco to be able to promote more business travel. And as I mentioned, there's cultural heritage, nature, and volunteer tourism as well, really making sure that we cover all of the bases. Under UNESCO, the World Heritage Sites, there's 19 different sites within the United States, so I invite you to take a look at that on their website, and as well as thinking about what motivates people to travel, and how important it is that we have items and areas of interest that visitors will want to be able to come to San Francisco, or whatever location it is that you make your hospitality career home, to be able to continue that prospective business. So as you go through the content for this week, in addition to watching this video, I do have the link to some of the slides that I just talked about, as well as a couple of videos from the California Convention and Visitors Bureau, a nice article talking about sustainable tourism, and then another YouTube video as well that helps you get a feel for how we try to attract people both to our state and to our city. So I hope you have a great week ahead, and I look forward to reading all of your tourism assignments on the fastest, the least expensive, and the most fun way to get to a place. Thanks so much.